What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks. Hope you all are having a great holiday season. In today's video, I'm going to be bringing you some Holiday Cup practice battles. So the Holiday Cup does drop today. I unfortunately don't have any sets to play today because I did use them all up on Ultra Premiere. But what I encourage you all to do, as well as what I'm going to be doing, is actually watching a bunch of Twitch live streams today. Watching a bunch of different Twitch streamers and seeing what teams they might use in the Holiday Cup. As well as you'll get to see some battles of what their opponents are using in Holiday Cup, so we can kind of get a handle on this meta. But this meta is going to be pretty wild. There's a lot of variety to choose from, I feel like, and in today's videos I'm going to be just highlighting essentially a bunch of different Pokemon that you will most likely see in the Holiday Cup, and so we can get comfortable with some of these matchups. I feel like Snorlax is really going to be one of the most powerful Pokemon in the Holiday Cup. Personally, I really enjoy using Snorlax as a safe swap, running Powder Snow as the fast move, and then Avalanche and Shadow Ball as the charge moves, because pretty much no matter what switches onto your Snorlax, you're at least going to come out of that secondary matchup with a shield advantage or potentially taking swap, because Snorlax is just so powerful. Especially when like Azumarill is not around. One of the things that we will need to look out for is some of these double charm teams, just very similar to like Kanto Cup or even Halloween Cup, when you don't have a lot of hard responses to the Charmers, the fairy types, like the steel types with their resistances. Charmers can really run wild. We saw a lot of double charm teams pop up before, and I really feel like that's going to be the case with this Holiday Cup as well, so you do need to look out for that. You still have like Venusaur and like Shadow Victory Bell, as well as like Skarmory to give you some coverage against the Charmers. Same with the Alolan Marowak, but with no like Stunfisk or Galarian Stunfisk or Registeel running around, Charmers are really going to have some powerful play here. You're going to see a lot of Alolan Marowaks, a lot of Obstagoons, stuff like that. As well as I feel like Munchlax or Snorlax both function very well as a safe swap. You're going to see some Vigoroths as well. People typically run Vigoroth as a safe swap as well, but we will have to see. Let's get into some of these battles and I'll kind of talk through some of the different ideas for team comps here. When I watched King Battle League, which I don't know if you all know what that is, but it's essentially like Go Battle League, but run through like a tournament website. So it's not actually Go Battle League in the game, but King IV, one of the top content creators on YouTube and Twitch, puts that on before a new cup pops up. So I believe it was on Saturday or Sunday that they were hosting that, and so you could kind of see some different team comps and some matchups there. But I did see a couple different people running like a double ice strategy, so running either a Snorlax safe swap or like a Lapras or a Dugong safe swap, and then having another ice type in the back. I thought that was pretty interesting. But here you can see Dugong technically does beat Snorlax like in the 2-shield going straight Icy Wind, but if you're the Dugong, you have to be the first one to commit your shields in that matchup, which never feels good to have to shield early in a matchup like that. But I have a lot of energy stored on my Stunfisk here. So Stunfisk is ground and electric type, so it's going to be a pretty solid anti-flyer. I would recommend running Thunder Shock on it instead of Mud Shot, just to have a little bit more chip damage against the flyers. Here's a Sableye safe swap that my opponent is using against me. Oh, by the way, all these practice battles are done with my patrons, so thank you all for supporting the channel here. And a Sableye safe swap, if you don't have like a Charmer in the back to hard punish this, especially a return Sableye, you're gonna have to get creative with how you're gonna handle it. So I chipped it first with my Alolan Graveler, and now I'm gonna bring out Skarmory onto this. I unfortunately cannot air slash this thing all the way down without getting hit by another foul play, so I'm gonna have to commit some energy here. And then I know I'm gonna get farmed by this stinking Raichu. I've noticed in a couple Twitch streams already of people doing practice battles and utilizing Kanto Raichu here, running Volt Switch, Brick Break, and then most likely Wild Charge as the secondary move there. I feel like it's really going to have a lot of play. It really kind of opened my eyes to that. I think I first saw it on the 6'4 Ninjas stream. He was running it as a safe swap, because that Brick Break damage is going to hit for nice super effective damage against the normal types, as well as like opposing like rock electric types like the Alolan Rock Boys, Graveler, and Golem. So we will have to see. And then Wild Charge obviously is going to hit for so much damage, and you get stab on it because of Raichu's electric typing there. Noctowl is an interesting choice as a flyer. You are going to lose to Skarmory, but you have play against Altaria, and that normal typing offers you that double resistance against ghost type attacks. Noctowl is also extremely bulky. If you've never used it before or never played against one, you will absolutely be surprised at this bird's bulk. It can actually tank an avalanche from Frostlass, which is pretty insane. But this is kind of a silly team comp here. Skarmory and then double Lax. So I'm going to use Snorlax as my safe swap. And so even if it's hard punished with like an Obstagoon switch in, the superpower on Snorlax is really clutch. My opponent also has a Skarmory here. I'm very surprised that they just go for the Brave Bird and then dip strategy. I'm just going to go for a Sky Attack here because this is going to put the Frostlass into fast move farm down range with my Snorlax here. I can farm this all the way down, and then I feel like this energy with Snorlax, Body Slam, and Superpower is going to hit for some nice neutral damage on whatever could come in. Worst case scenario, they bring in like an Alolan Marowak, and then all this energy goes to waste. So I'm assuming that they bring in Skarmory. There's the worst case scenario. Yeah, all this energy essentially goes to waste on this Alolan Marowak. But I need to try to run out the switch clock here. I preserve my Snorlax, and then I'm going to switch into my Munchlax. My opponent also makes a simultaneous swap at that moment in time as well. So this is very scary, because I know that they have an Alolan Marowak in the back still that has some loaded energy. So Munchlax is a beast. It has a little bit more bulk than Snorlax, because you're able to get this to a much higher level than Snorlax. And the Bulldoze is nice for neutral damage against like Frostlass, and for super effective damage against Alolan Marowak, as well as any of those electric types. So I really just need to burn shields here, but my opponent makes a really nice swap here. I know this is going to be a Bone Club, and I'm able to survive it. I throw a Body Slam here just to get any chip damage I can. I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to reach the Bulldoze. And now I can safely get to this Sky Attack. I get the last shield. I'm very worried that I might get farmed down here. If this is a Bone Club, I survive. So they have to commit to Shadow Bone. They do. They take me out. I just need as much lick damage as possible here. I'm very close to a Body Slam, and I'm actually able to get a Body Slam off here, which is great, even though it's double resisted. Just enough to KO, and then I'm able to fast move down the Skarmory. That was an absolutely wild game. Very good game. Obstagoon into Vigoroth. So most Obstagoons I feel like should be running Cross Chop and Night Slash. This is a prime example of a team comp that I was thinking about, like Obstagoon and then Double Charm in the back. I'm never the biggest fan of like running these Double Charm teams because I just personally don't enjoy a fast move beatdown playstyle, but I know a lot of people do enjoy them, and I'm partially using this team to bring awareness to everyone out there that Double Charm or even Triple Charm, like there are some people definitely wild enough to run Triple Charm. So luckily I'm able to get rid of that Vigoroth, and then in the back is Altaria, so thank goodness I still have Whimsicott. I wanted to wait for this Altaria to dump energy before I bring out the Whimsicott so I don't have to get hit by a Sky Attack. So I'm charming this thing down. Man, oh, it's a Frostlass in the back. I have a lot of energy stored on my Obstagoon, but I know that my opponent also has a Sky Attack stored on the Altaria. I'm very surprised that they let that move through, because now all I have to do is shield, charm this down, and then charm down the Altaria as well. Here comes the Sky Attack. This is probably just enough to KO Whimsicott. Not able to get off another charm, but I have back-to-back Night Slashes stored here from that earlier matchup. So we're going to get the shield here, and then this final Night Slash will be just enough to KO. and take out that Altaria. And I get the BM boost at the end there. Good game. Frostlass into Marowak. So obviously the fire spins are going to be hitting for super effective, but you can burn a shield with this Shadow Ball. If it doesn't get shielded, it's going to one-shot. So you're going to burn the shield and then safe swap into Vigoroth, which is not technically a counter to Alolan Marowak. Unfortunately, with this line that I was running, I'm like, if I see an Alolan Marowak, this is very bad, because I actually have Galvantula in the back. My opponent brings in Wigglytuff against a loaded Vigoroth, so I know I can either burn that last shield or just win switch here. So I'm able to farm down the Wigglytuff. If that Alolan Marowak comes out, I need to get a Bulldoze off. So I probably should have shielded that, but the unfortunate thing is that I knew that this Marowak was so loaded they were going to get to a second Bone Club anyways. I now have to bring in Galvantula, and here's a stupid mistake. I'm going for Lunge, assuming that they would shield. Terrible, 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 terrible move. I figured that since they saw my entire line of 3, they would have known how much value Alolan Marowak has against my team, and shielded that. But again, I need to stick to my own guns and just do not bait in a scenario like that. In the back is a Skarmory. This is just very bad for me. My opponent still has a shield, and saving it for their Alolan Marowak definitely is their win condition, and they recognize that. So even though I was able to clear, I'm able to get my Galvantula on this Skarm, but very smart. They save the shield for the Marowak. Do not bait there. Do not bait there. Should have just went for Discharge, and I would have been in a much better scenario there, but very good games to my opponent. I think we got 3 more battles here. Snorlax into Graveler. Obviously, Superpower is going to hit for some nice super effective damage. And I have Sableye and Wigglytuff in the back. If my opponent were to lead an Obstagoon against this line, I'd probably just have to stay in with Snorlax and rip off Superpowers, try to get shield. I do catch a move on the Sableye. And it is a Stone Edge, which is not great that I caught that. That does not feel good. Because now I essentially have to, I'm just totally sacrificing this Sableye. See you later, Sableye. Sorry that you did nothing there. I think PvPoke does recommend that you run Power Gem on Sableye. Personally, I still really like Return. It's just such a heavy hitting move, and I think it offers Sableye a little bit more wider coverage. Obamasnow, okay. Obamasnow is so fast getting to these Weather Balls. I don't need to shield this first one. I really want to get this play rough off. Okay, we'll see what my opponent wants to do. They let that go through. In the back is a Obstagoon. So it's actually very smart of them to save the shield for the Obstagoon. And then they were actually able to counter down my Wigglytuff, which puts me in a terrible spot here. They are running Cross Chop, even more terrible for me. Body Slam is not going to be enough. I would have had to bait a Body Slam and get to Superpower, but I'm not going to have enough energy to do that. So if I would have preserved my Wigglytuff, would have been in a better spot here. But very good game for my opponent. This is a decent lead for Obamasnow. I do outpace this Galvantula to the moves, and you really need to rip off this Weather Ball before the first lunge comes through. So I do get a shield, that's good for me. Looks like I have Sableye and Lanturn in the back. Lanturn, kind of an interesting pick. You're going to be walled by the grass types, but a very good anti-flyer that also has a nice Hydro Pump nuke to hit for a lot of damage against opposing electric types. So I'm just going to double shield this Obamasnow and see what happens here. They switch into Dugong, and so I'm going to switch into my Lanturn. Dugong is insanely bulky, and after these Icy Wind debuffs, I know that it's going to be a little bit wild to try to take this thing out. Don't want to get hit by another Icy Wind, so I do throw this Thunderbolt before the next one comes through, but I know I'm going to get hit by another one. Still looking pretty good here. I have a very healthy Obamasnow. I have a full health Sableye. And I'm in a pretty favorable matchup here. So I'm just farming. I'm able to get to this Thunderbolt before another Icy Wind comes through. I do want to get rid of this Dugong. They bring out Graveler. This is where Hydro Pump is so nice. I'm going to store that energy and then actually switch into my Sableye because I wanted to clear all those debuffs. Now I have a nice Hydro Pump nuke in the back. And I'm just going to try to burn this last shield with the Sableye. If this is Stone Edge, it's going to take me out. But if it's Rock Blast, I do survive. It is Stone Edge. I have energy stored on so many things. This is a Rock Blast, and I do barely survive it. Gonna rip off this Weather Ball, probably get the last shield. And again, I still have energy stored on the Lanturn, so we're looking pretty good here, but I'm actually able to get to another Weather Ball and take this game. Very good game. One more battle here. Charizard. Man, it's going to be kind of a tough meta for Charizard. You have Dragon types floating around, you have Electric types, you have Ice types, and a lot of these Ice types are like Ice-Water types, so it's just very tough. As well as a Alolan Marowak floating around, which is not ideal. I swap into Cradily here. Kind of, Cradily is always interesting. It's very, very bulky. And you have really great energy generation with Bullet Seed as the fast move. And then both Grass Knot and Stone Edge are very powerful hitting charge moves that you're able to get to relatively quickly here. This Stone Edge is really going to threaten this Alolan Marowak, so they let it go. Out comes Galvantula. Stone Edge is going to be pretty nice against this as well. The unfortunate thing is that Rock does not resist Bug. And so I'm pretty sure that the lunge, if they did go for lunge, it would have hit for super effective damage. Probably would have KO'd my Cradily there, but my opponent's actually running Energy Ball, which is kind of wild. I'm not able to get to a move there, and now I'm in just an absolutely terrible spot because this Vigoroth with loaded energy is also going to really threaten my Obamasnow in the back. I'm going to go for a Dragon Claw bait here, and I just really need to hope that they shield. They don't shield. This is very bad. I'm going to go for another Dragon Claw here. I know the Vigoroth can't farm down my Charizard, so I just stay in here and do as much damage as possible. I just got to get to a Weather Ball to KO this thing. I just got to get to a Weather Ball. Come on. I'm going to get hit by a Body Slam. I know. But I just got to get to this Weather Ball because this Vigoroth is doing way too much damage right now. I'm able to get there. And then down goes the Vigoroth, and this Galvantula is going to barely be able to get to a lunge. If I would have farmed by one more Powder Snow, I would have been able to take this game. But very good games. Best of luck, everyone out there in the Holiday Cup, and I will continue bringing you some more videos this week. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.